Next on antimicrobial resistance, this is an issue that presents right now urgent public health challenges. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, there are more than 2.8 million antibiotic resistant infections in this country every year, causing more than 35,000 deaths. This committee has tackled this issue in a number of ways over the years, including the passage of the so-called GAIN Act, the Generating Antibiotic Incentives Now Act. That was back in 2012. The GAIN Act gave FDA new tools and provided new incentives to drug developers to encourage them to meet this urgent public health threat. Yet since that time, we've made very little progress in getting new antibiotics approved to combat these drug-resistant infections. Numerous experts have expressed concerns that the COVID-19 pandemic could exacerbate the spread of antimicrobial resistant infections. And I want to note the work with Senator Cassidy on this. We've been able to work with him on this and other members of the committee. What do you see as the barriers to more antimicrobial drug development, and how would you work to support that drug development within the FDA if confirmed?
Thank you for raising this issue. And while we're so consumed with the pandemic right now, we cannot lose sight of this other threat. You know, in my lecture after leaving the FDA, I gave, safety and effectiveness of medical products, food, tobacco, and always put in preparation for emergencies. And at the time, 5 years ago, people sort of scratched their heads like, what's that? I think we all know what that means now. But we can't lose sight of the fact that we could get a super resistant bug. And if we don't have antibiotics on the shelf that are ready to go, we're going to have a big problem that will be difficult, if not impossible, to treat. This involves a whole variety of things, one of the most important of which is One Health, the combination of animals and human evaluation, because many of these resistant bacteria develop in animals that are treated with antibiotics. But in addition, there's what you mentioned. We have to have a system of developing antibiotics, essentially not intending to use them, because you want to hold them in reserve. And there's several mechanisms to do that I would look forward to working with you on. One pathway you've already passed in Congress, and that's in motion now, but we're going to have to do a lot better, or we may be taken by another surprise, and we don't want another one like the current pandemic.
Thanks, Doctor.
Thank you.